Lorcana Locals!
Marvelous! Fight!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Lorcana Locals and the first of Season 2, the season of Azure Sea. Welcome, and I hope you're going to enjoy today. I'm your commentator as per usual, TheXploder, and today I'm not even playing. No, we have James on the right, Lesley, returning player, on the left, James playing Ruby Amethyst RAmethyst, he wanted me to call it, and Lesley playing Emerald Steel Pirates, a brand new deck for her in a colour combination she's not very used to. So this is going to be a very interesting battle between these two people. Welcome to Season 2. I'm hyped that I've been waiting for so long to do some more Lorcana commentary, and I'm challenging myself this time around because now I'm not even featured in these games. I'm seeing these games fresh and new as you guys are watching them now, so this is going to be very, very interesting. James on turn 1 playing out the Challenger Rafiki, whilst we have the Challenger Captain Hook on Lesley's first turn. Double Rafiki now on James's side, and this is a very interesting turn, because now with double Challengers on both sides, who would be willing to quest or go for the hit first? I don't know. It's a very tough scenario to kick things off. Very interested to see how Lesley has built the Emerald Steel Pirates, because I think that has a lot of tech there. Seven Dwarves Mine, new location from Azure Sea on the board. Move a character there, and the first time a character moves there this turn, you deal 1 damage to a chosen character. And if they are a knight character, specifically, you deal 2 damage instead. Pretty darn interesting. I love the location anyway. It gives you +1 passive lore at the start of your turn. It's a consistent threat where your opponent's going to think, oh, 1 dink isn't going to matter. It will matter if you let the consistent dinks come. Don't freaking sit on those dinks. We have Archimedes on James's side, the evasive. That Archimedes is actually pretty solid. Didn't see a lot of play in the last set. James has actively told me he hasn't made a lot of changes with his deck because he wasn't too keen on what Azure Sea brought to the table. And there we go, Transport Pod and Smee. What a combination on Lesley's side. So the Smee being able to quest for 2 takes the damage, but won't because we do have Captain Hook in play. But the Transport Pod will now make it so that travelling to Seven Dwarves Mine is free for 1 character at the start of Lesley's turn. Very good. That's going to start causing dink damage over on to James's board, and so he should be threatened by Seven Dwarves Mine. In fairness, he should probably attack Seven Dwarves Mine with everything that he has to get rid of absolutely everything on that board, because as long as Seven Dwarves Mine is there are big threats. Yes, he could potentially lose one of his Rafikis to Captain Hook, but that's not a problem. That's not a problem. That is what Rafiki is there for. James, what are you doing? Oh, the Madam Fox taking out the Seven Dwarves Mine. Crazy play. I wasn't expecting it. Whoa. Very, very nicely done. Seven Dwarves Mine off the board. Transport Pod has nowhere to go for any of those peeps. There's still a Rafiki in play. The Archimedes hasn't quested. Archimedes has evasive. I'm curious as to why James just hasn't done anything with Archimedes. Didn't play it this turn, could have done a thing, but hey ho, James has his crazy ideas, and I'm very sure we're going to pull off. Hoping we're going to pull off for him. Lesley putting down the Donald Duck Pirate. Wow, I've never really seen that Donald Duck come into play. I believe he gets +1 attack and +1 lore for every pirate out. I'll put a pop-up on screen so that everyone is aware of the situation here. Didn't see a lot of Donald Duck Pirate come into play when it first came out in Lorcana, but in this combination of a deck, I think it's pretty darn solid. I think it's a very good idea. Lesley, trading Captain Hook with the Mim Fox. Fantastic play. That's all you want Captain Hook there for. And oh no, Smee's going to quest, get the 2, but still take the damage, right? Wrong, because Donald Duck counts as a captain. But there's no point questing as long as that Challenger Rafiki is out in play. Very good move by Lesley, removing that Madam Mim Fox off the board. That could have been bounced back for later. Very good to get rid of it as soon as it drops. Even if you have to sack something, why not sack your 1-drop hook? absolutely fine. Moving back over to James for his turn. Woo! Doing post-commentary on games I've never seen before is going to be a challenge for me in Season 2. But you know what? I'm going to really enjoy it. There's the goats! It's happening. +1 law over to his side. Another 2 with Archimedes. He finally knew how to quest. Way to go, Jay! And here we go. Setting up the board, being a very aggressive boy. And that... Ooh, is that the brand new emerald location that makes it so that when a character is challenged at this location, your opponent has to discard a card? I believe that is. I forget what the name of it is. I'll do a pop-up on screen for you guys, but that is a very cool location. I personally really like it in the emerald steel location-based decks anyway. I think it's a very great location, very strong willpower base, very easy to move to cost. Very, very good location. Now, notice, Lesley has not moved anyone into that location. And there's a good reason why. Because you want to take advantage of Transport Pod. However, Lesley does have a lot of ink at her disposal. So, was that a smart idea? I guess we're going to find out. There's the Mim Snake coming out into play, doing the snaky things. Bouncing Bing's back. I guess it's Bing's now. And there's Daisy Duck. What is going on? Ducks, monkeys, owls, snakes. What is RAmethyst all about? I don't even know at this point. But there is Daisy Duck, the 2/2 for 1, with evasive, threatening the board. Interesting. Very interesting plays by Jay here. Goes for 2 with Archimedes, talking about Smee, and just double checking what Smee does, which is absolutely fine. Oh, Smee is at the location. I apologise. I did not see the move. Lesley did declare that Smee is at the location. So will James sacrifice a precious card in his hand to be able to get rid of that Smee? No, he's not. I get it. I absolutely get it. It's a tough play, but Transport Pod is in play. And when Transport Pod is in play, it triggers. Donald Duck now moves into that location. Fantastic. That's only going to help Lesley. That was a free move. And now on Leslie's side, she has a lot going on. Double Pirate Donald Duck. What the hell is going on? Double Pirate Donald Duck. I need to get... I'm seeing cards I have not seen him play for a very long time. Oh, along came Zeus, knocks out the Archimedes out of the sky. That pesky 2-lore quester is gone. Very good move there by Lesley. Sets up the board, threatening now with the Smee and the Donald Duck and the location. She can just passively sit back, let that 1 lore creep in. Absolutely fine. There are now 2 captains in play. That Smee is as protected as you can get. If I was James at this point, I'd sack a card. I'd just go straight in on that Smee and get him the heck out, even if I need to sack a card at this point, because that Smee is a threat. That Smee is a very big threat, and you're going to be caught up before long. There's the goat again. Another 1 lore play. Gotta dig it. But what is James going to be thinking of here, using 4 of his 5 to get the goat out? Only 1 lore left. He is going to ink yet again, however. That is now 2 lore at his disposal, but can he do anything, or is he going to do anything? Questing for 1 with the Daisy Duck evasive, and the debate begins. Does he strike? Does he stay back? Does he anything? We don't know, but look at that beautiful ring on his finger. Ooh, I wonder. Yes, he is taken, ladies. I'm very sorry, I can vouch. Got married earlier this year. Congratulations, shout out to Dee, my other best mate, that they are now officially husband and wife. So if anyone's looking at his fingers going, ooh, I like those fingers. Well, you can't have those fingers. They're already taken. Get back in line. Anyway, Transport Pod triggers on Leslie's side of the board. Second Donald Duck moves into the exact same location. Everything is popping the heck off. Quest for 2. Questing for even more with the big Donny of the Ducks. Big threat in James's face right now. And if I was James, I would start smacking into something. Smack into that location. Smack into that Smee. Just smack. Because as long as that location is standing, that's 1 lore. As long as the Smee is standing, that's another 2. As long as those Donald Ducks are standing, that's at least another 2. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lore in play. on its own. There's the Super Goof. Super Goof going to go in to the location, deal 2 damage. That's great. 4 damage with the goat, and an extra 2 damage with the Daisy Duck. Well done, James. Well done. Fantastic. Getting rid of a location, no more passive lore. Finally gets rid of the Smee. BEAUT4. That is exactly what you needed. And I believe Rafiki should be gone. I think Rafiki does take the damage hit unless James has something in play that reduces that damage, and I don't think he does. So I don't know why Rafiki is staying out on the board. Correct me if I'm wrong, little pop-up me to let me know in the future. That is Pirate Daisy right over there, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that Pirate Donald, the other one? I want to say it's Pirate Daisy from what I can tell from the artwork. And I believe the Pirate Daisy is the one where if you have a character that quests in a location, or I believe it's a pirate character if they quest in a location, or if they're at a location you just draw a card. Simple draw engine. It works when you have transport pod and a location out, so I don't blame her. I think that's a very nice combo there by Lesley. But Lesley now, what is she thinking, I wonder, going for the quest again with the Donald of the Duker? And here we go. James is bored. Has his own Daisy Duck, has his Mim Snake, has his Merlin Goat, has the Super Goof. And if you remember, anytime Super Goof is able to swing into a character that is a +2 lore play, goat trade with one of the Captain Donald's +1 lore over to James. Very smart move there. You're always thinking about the Super Goof. Is he gonna get goofing? No. Thinking about it, retracting backwards in that chair. It's gonna take a lot more. But I wonder what he is thinking. It's a big Pinocchio making Daisy go in exerted, which is absolutely fine. Looking from the angle here. No, I believe that is the other brand new Pirate Donald. I apologize for my quotations earlier. That is the new Donald. And I believe the Donald just has it in play where he just gets +1 lore for every other pirate you have out, if I'm not mistaken. So synergizes quite well with the rest of the deck. I'm liking the Duck Pirates right now. Hey Lesley, if you're watching this later and you wanted a name for this deck, Duck Pirates? ? I quite like it. If you have a better name in the comment section below for anyone's decks during these games, let us know. We are more than happy to see your good names, your bad names, your wacky names. I personally love naming my decks. I'm interested to see what you think. There's the Mim Fox going smack into the other Donald Duck. There is a Beast Tragic Hero. If you don't know what Beast Tragic Hero does, let me explain. If it doesn't have any damage on it, you get an extra card draw at the start of your turn. If it does have damage on it, I believe it gets +4 attack, which is huge. It does have 5 willpower. I believe it already comes out as a 2/5 or a 3/5. I have him up on the board so you can see him. Wow. Big play there by Lesley. Big power play. Another evasive Daisy by the James. And what's he thinking of doing here? He is going to... Oh, he can't though. You can't swing Super Goof into someone that's ready. Goof doesn't have that power. You Wally. You can't do that. But ooh, he's gonna quest for 2 with the Super Goof and the Pinocchio. Fair play. Now, of course, Beast Tragic Hero doesn't have anything on him. That's 2 cards. Oh my god, it's a second one. Double Beast Tragic Hero from Lesley here. I hope Lesley did draw the second card on her turn, because that beast does not have any damage on it. So this now means if that beast just stays alive, nothing bad happens to it, or no damages on it, that is 2 cards every turn. But she's going to do the swing. Take the 1 damage. Now that beast is even bigger. Now that beast is a really big threat. Yes, it's go down to 4 willpower, but my god, is it capable of annihilating worlds on its own. Pretty nuts. And you're still going to get an extra 1 card draw from the other Tragic Hero, so that's absolutely fine. Until the Pinocchio comes in and forcibly exerts the other Tragic Hero, smacks into one of the Tragic Heroes with Super Goof. Yes, you do. You get the +2 lore. Well done. I think that's a viable strat. Just go straight for the kill. You have double evasive Daisy. Get the 2. Absolutely go for it. Let Lesley work her butt off. Lesley, draw the extra card. You can... That's a third one! Triple tragics are on the board. And Lesley, just realizing now, can go for the draw. Well done, Lesley. Well done. Gets the Captain Hook. Also, there's the big quest. Questing for 4 this turn, just to say to Jay, I ain't worried about you. I've got all these beasts under my control. Wow. Triple beast tragic hero. I didn't think I was going to see anything crazy. That is that for game 1. Talk about mad. Talk about mad already, and this is only game 1. Let's roll over to game 2. I'll see you guys there. Game 2, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. I did not think we were going to see a triple tragic hero beast play on any of these games. I have been gladly mistaken. I'm very much interested to see how things go. RAmethyst 1, Pirates 0 so far as we rolled on to game 2. There's for turn 1 Rafiki classic play from the J. That's what we like to see. Lesley inking a Nottingham by the looks of things to get the turn 1 transport pod. Devastating. Oh. I personally love Transport Pod. I think it's a really fun, quirky card. I don't think you'd run any more than 2 in its entirety. I'm even willing to say even just put it in as a splash tech if you only run a handful of locations, just so maybe you can pull it off. But if you're having anywhere from 10 plus locations in your deck and you're running Emerald as a color, definitely consider running it at 2, maybe even possibly 3, but at least 2 in that regard, in my opinion. We see a Lumiere on James's side, +1 attack for all your other characters. That Rafiki is now able to challenge for even more because that big monkey just got even bigger. Interesting to see how Lesley's going to retort with this. No characters on her side of the board so far. Rafiki allowing James to quest for the early +1, starting off his climb in game number 2. Lesley's thinking a little, I don't know what I have, at least from what I'm getting from the hand gestures, the body language. Yes, I'm kind of reading into this a little bit too much, but that's how it goes, my wacky, crazy commentary. So what do we got here? Lesley's contemplating the choices here. Rapunzel versus that Tink. There is the brand new 2-drop Calhoun. Resist +1, and if this character defeats another character in a challenge or banishes them as a result of a challenge, you get the Law. I love that Calhoun. I think the Calhoun's brilliant. I've got 3. I need a 4th. Someone give me a 4th. I'm joking. I'm going to find one myself. But if you're willing, let me know in the comments. Anyway, Calhoun can be really scary because now this gives Lesley a perfect reason to tackle into that Rafiki and not have any splashback. Hell, that Calhoun can even go into the Lumiere, only take 1 damage. And that's absolutely fine because Lesley's going to benefit off of that, get the Law. And then, yes, the Rafiki will be able to challenge in, but that Rafiki is going to go bye-bye at the exact same time, so it's going to have to be a trade. James playing out the Archimedes, setting up the flying threats for Lesley to deal with. Steel does have a lot of pew-pew in its colour scheme in order to shoot down those pesky evasives. Even plenty of cards that either gain evasive on your turn or that just naturally have evasive. But James, not going to do anything. No questing, no crazy antics, doesn't want to give Lesley any Law of Calhoun whatsoever, and I do not blame him at all. So, plays out the 7 Dwarves Mine. Great play there by Lesley, being able to dink the Archimedes, dink anyone basically, as long as you move someone in there. Very valuable. Inks for Smee, in order to make that happen. Does have 1 more ink at her disposal. Is Lesley going to use that ink or just sit with Calhoun? She's going to sit. It's absolutely fine. It's a bit of a tough board at the moment for Lesley to do anything with. Have to wait until next turn. Move Calhoun into 7 Dwarves Mine. You do the dink damage on one of the other guys and hope you're able to take out the Archimedes, at least in my opinion. That's going to be the big scary threat to deal with. James's turn. Interested to see how he's going to continue with this in this scenario. And he puts down another Rafiki, specifically that is the Rush Rafiki, and double Monkey Madness, double Rafiki into Seven Dwarfs Mine, takes it out. And bear in mind, both Rafikis do have attack +1 thanks to the Lumiere. That was a fantastic move by Jay, and now that sets Lesley up for a potential bad time. No transport pod trigger. Calhoun's just standing there. Could take on Rafiki and get the lore, and that's the tease here. Because if Lesley goes for the Rafiki, the 0-2 one, it'll only take 1 damage, but it'll be no damage because of Calhoun's resist. But then leaves Calhoun wide open for the Rush Rafiki later on. She's going to risk it. You don't take damage! Lesley, you don't take the damage. You have resist +1. What are you doing? Do not give in! But it is okay. Bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, misplays happen all the time. Mistakes happen all the time. It's a brand new set with brand new cards. We're learning, I'm learning, you're learning. So bear that in mind. And if I say anything that involves, why didn't you do this? Or that's not how the card is played. I'm saying it more so because if the players themselves are watching the games later on, they know how to treat things later on. So bear that in mind. Rafiki getting freaky, smacking into Calhouni, Woony Swoony, and that was a very good move. Now, Calhoun is off the board. We have Fang on the board, which can be still quite scary. That is a passive 2 lore every turn. Smacks into it with absolutely everything. It gets the lore with Archimedes, I'm assuming. And we are all good to go. So that would have been 4 on Calhoun, 4, 5, 6, 7 if you did it with Fang. Oh well, if you did it with Archimedes into Fang, or 6 if it was with Lumiere. Either way, Fang has been knocked out. I believe you would have swung in with Archimedes, but I will check my lore-o-meter to make sure that we have the appropriate lore gains, to make sure that everything is accurate. God forbid I don't have accurate readings for lore totals, or else I'll be smacking myself later on. Another Fang comes out on the board, and that is a big worry for Lesley, because that is the kind of board on James's side that would go, Fang? Sure, and just swing everything into Fang. I feel bad for Lesley. It just seems as if she does not have the cards to combat the board, to play out for free, or to basically play out and hopefully not get smacked down. James has her on the ropes and is in full control of this board. There's a +1 goatee boy. Get yourself that lore. Fantastic work. And with that in mind, what's James thinking here? He's gonna leave Fang. What a risky move. James leaving Fang to its own devices, giving Lesley the 2 lore. He's a very nice soul, bless him, but sometimes you gotta put that niceness to one side and blow Fang the heck up. Because Fang can be a terrifying location, even if it has 1 character in there, because it does give any character in there evasive and ward. But it does cost a lot to play, in my opinion. It doesn't have the best willpower total, being at 6. Yes, it gives you 2 passive lore every turn. It's just, in my eyes, it's just not the best location, but there is a good boy, Pirate Donald, back on board, ready for some pirating quackiness. I still personally think it should be called Pirate or Duck Pirates. Or what else could we call it? If it was like a quirky deck based around ducks and pirates. Quacks Ahoy? Maybe we go with that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Quacks Ahoy? I just had to think of something off the top of my head. Don't blame me. Right. That is a double freaky into Fang. Not going to... Did you just commit Archimedes into Fang? I think he did. I think James committed Archimedes into Fang when you should have just quested with the Archimedes himself. Now he's double thinking. What do we do about a Pirate Donald? And he's probably blaming himself, thinking, did I just misplay? I don't know. In my eyes, I think you did. Because you sort of swang in with your 2 Rush Rafikis, getting rid of Fang, questing for 2 with Archimedes every turn, because as long as he has evasive, you can't do nothing. And you should be absolutely fine. But it's fine. He's having a think. He's having a dingle. He's going to go for the questy LaRue. That's absolutely fine. James quests goes up to big lore totals. And here we go. Sometimes it is hard to translate what the moves are exactly. Sometimes the players make it obvious, sometimes they don't, and that's what makes post-commentary very challenging at times. But quests have happened, challenges have happened. A Fang was knocked out of the stratosphere, back over to Lesley, and that is a scary ass board to deal with. What would you even do in this case? Grab your sword to potentially wipe the board, but then the problem is the goat and the second rush Rafiki still live, which is a big scare. Oh, I wouldn't want to be Lesley right now. I'm very interested to think what Lesley had. Inks the Daisy Pirate. And I think that's a good move. I don't think, without the locations in play, she's not very handy. Plays out the Donald Paialetu. That does quest for more lore. Very interesting play there. What's Lesley thinking here, I wonder? I wonder if Donald's effect was that if he challenges and banishes a character, your other pirate characters get +1 lore. I forget what the actual ability is, but like I said, I'll pop that pirate Donald on screen. I can't remember. It's been such a long time since I've seen that card have any play whatsoever. It's great to see it. Fantastic to see it in any capacity in any of these games. I like to think I have an encyclopedic knowledge, but sometimes my knowledge hits a brick wall. So what can I say except you're welcome, or in James's case, brawl. Savage. Absolute savagery. Get that Donald off the board. Quest for that lore. Don't even need to swing. Don't even need to fret. Just get it out. Fantastic. I think Jay's got this. There is the Treasure Island, and it just was not good enough. GG to Lesley. I just personally think she just didn't get the right cards to deal with that big threatening board. Very, very sad times, but she had fun. I know she did. James had fun. I know he did. Look at the crazy cards he had in his hand. The dirty boy. Game 3. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 now happening. I've had to chop out some of my audio at the end of game 2 because I generally thought game 2 was it. And we had the games all sorted out, all ready to go. I was wrong entirely. And now we have game 3, Lesley versus James, RAmethyst versus Pirates. Oh, it's hype. Very interesting. So Lesley has game 1. James has game 2 with a very devastating board on game 2. Now to see how things go for game number 3, as we have Rafiki, we have Emerald Cove on Lesley's side, going back to James. Rafiki quest for 1, bounce back with Madam Mim Snake, go over to Lesley, plays out the Smee, which is very, very nice, and now gets for Calhoun, moves Smee into Emerald Cove, so even though the Smee will take the 1 damage at the end of the turn, Smee does have 1 extra willpower and 1 extra attack, turning him into a 4/4. Devastating. Emerald Cove is also amazing for Calhoun, because that now makes it so the Calhoun is a 4/3 with resist +1 and the ability to gain lore when you get rid of something. Brilliant. Playing an aggro play this time around with James with the 3 lore Simba. Not swinging into anything with just the snake, and I think that's a very good idea. Moving on. Lesley, already in a dominant position at the start of this game, with the Cove, with the Smee, with the Calhoun. What is she thinking this time round? Hopefully, her hand is playing a lot better with her than it did in the last game. Hasn't even inked this turn. Inks a Smee. Big gamble there if you wanted to ink the Smee. Second Calhoun! Woo! Moves everyone into the Cove, or specifically one of the Calhouns into the Cove. Very, very smart, in my opinion. Both questing for 3 overall. She's challenging Jay. And in fairness, this is a very good position for Lesley to be in. If Jay tries to get rid of Smee, then that Mim Snake is going to be off the board right off the bat, even regardless of the Emerald Cove. That Mim Snake will knock that Smee out, but it cannot knock out Calhoun. because Calhoun is now a 4-3 with resist +1. So yes, it will only do 2 damage, but that Calhoun will still keep standing. And as a result, that Mim Snake will still bite the bucket, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Can't believe it. Double evasive Daisy Duck. So many ducks this game. I'm going quackers just thinking about it. But we've got all the Ducky Ducks. Double evasive Daisy. Just clarifying the idea of what Calhoun does. Having resist +1. Even though, Lesley, you did take that damage last turn. But remember, we're all learning here. It's a learning experience. Getting used to new cards is absolutely fine, ladies and gentlemen. If you're learning, then that's great. If I'm learning, apparently it's a big problem. Joking, of course. Absolutely joking. Questing for free with Big Simba. Trading the Smee with the Mim Fox. Well, sorry, Mim Snake. Don't want to clarify the animals wrong. And I think that's a good move. You need to get rid of Smee as soon as you possibly can. You're questing for free. You're building up your side of the board. Here comes Calhoun. Deals the damage, gets the lore, quests for the other one, because why the heck not? Beautiful move, and there is Lesley's go-to favourite beast, literally, Tragic Hero Beast. Out on the board, ready to go. Don't forget your card for next turn, Lesley. It's going to be a very scary time. But, luckily, James is in a very good spot right now with 2 daisies that have evasive, which are safe. Absolutely safe. He's going to quest for 1 with one of the daisies. He's thinking about it. He's going to pay. He's going to Mim Fox, bring out the Fox, tackle one of the Calhouns. That will defeat the Mim Fox. And that is 4 damage. And that is very well done. I think you needed to trade in some capacity. Personally, I would have even swung with the Mim Fox with the last remaining evasive daisy that you have into Emerald Cove, so at least the Cove's out of play. And with the Cove out of play, yes, Calhoun can then tackle into Mim Fox, but that's a direct trade. An absolute direct trade, and you need to be careful about it. Pinocchio comes out, exerts the beast, but only until the end of your turn, which is sad face. The beast allows Lesley to draw an extra card. Calhoun in the Cove. This is definitely looking more like a Lesley game, but it could be wrong. It could be wrong. Double! We're doing it again! We're stacking these Tragic Hero Beastie Boys! I bloody love it! Let's go! Questing for 1 with Calhoun, questing for 2 with the Beastie Boy. Wow. Look at this. I like it. I kind of like these plays right now. Not a lot of pirates happening on Lesley's side, mind you. But who cares when you got Calhoun and double Tragic Hero Beast? There is the White Rose, brand new card in Azure Sea. When this card is played, gain 1 lore. It's effectively still a goat. It's a cheaper goat. It's a 3/3 rose, which is pretty nice. But you only get the +1 lore when you play it. So if you return it back to your hand for any reason, you don't get a second one like you would do with the Merlin goat. But it makes it absolutely fine. Fantastic aggro play. A really solid stat block of that. A 3/3/3 for 1 lore. Very nice. Very, very nice. Technically 2 if you count the original one that you get on the play, but hey ho. Lesley's turn. 2 cards off of Tragic Beast. Heroic Tragic Hero Beast. Heroic. I don't know why I'm saying heroic so much. I just am. But one of the beasts in the Cove plays out the John Silver Calhoun combo. Oh my god. So, I love this John Silver. This John Silver is a boy in my deck. John Silver gets an extra +1 lore and +1 resist for every location you have out in play. So right now, that John Silver has resist +1 and can quest for 2. Really, really nice. Move him into the Cove and he becomes a big boy by himself. Beautiful. And all Lesley does is quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the 2 Tragic Beasts and the Calhoun. Whoa! Sets it up. James needs to do something nuts to really hit this board hard. I personally feel like he should have gotten rid of the Cove earlier, so at least the Cove's out of the way and no longer a threat. With that Cove in play, Calhoun is a much bigger threat than you ever needed it to be. Tragic Hero Beast is now a 4/6 without damage. Mad. Absolutely mad. Goes for the 1 quest with Pinocchio, bounces back thanks to the Mim Fox. And what is James going to be thinking? That is 4 damage going into one of the tragic heroes. And he's tempted by it. Is he going to go for it? Does he want that on his conscience or not? I don't know. Was it a smart idea to roll back the Pinocchio? I'm not 100% sure. I think sure, it's okay. I think if anything, the Pinocchio, the Daisy, and the Rose, again, the coat. No! He's conceded! It's all done! Job done! Game over! Give the cake over to Lesley! It is over! Whoa! Can't believe it. A threatening board by Lazy? No, by Lesley. Setting up the board, crazy antics with all the tragic hero Beastie Boys and the Calhouns. James just needed very specific hyper plays and could not get them out. Very great series of games. Hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed. I'm hyped. It's season 2. It's Azure Sea. It's back to Lorcana Locals commentary and crazy commentary fun times with your boy. If you like what you've seen and you want to see even more, be sure to subscribe down below so you do not miss out on any more Lorcana action or any other action for that matter in the future. On top of that, be sure to join me on my socials, my Blue Sky, my Discord, my other things, also down in the description for you to check out. You can support me over on Ko-Fi. You can support me by going to Magic Madhouse and treating yourself to something. You can even support your own local store like I do. Cheers to Geek Retreat for allowing me to record these games. Be sure to support your locals, support Lorcana, and support everyone and have a great time. Lorcana commentary is back. I'm so hyped. Can't wait to see you on the next game. But until then, stay safe, stay awesome. Most importantly, stay explosive. I'll be seeing you guys next time.